everyone, my name is Noravia and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to continue the mini-series that I started on my channel a little while ago, where I'm flipping through my old bullet journals. In my previous video, I flipped through my 2020 bullet journal, and in this one, I'll be flipping through my 2021 bullet journal. This bullet journal is from Minimalism Art, and just like the last one, I also got this one off of Amazon. Opening up the journal, the first page is my nameplate page, which does have personal information, so I've covered it up. The next page in the journal is the index. If you've watched my last video, you'll know that I included an index in my 2020 bullet journal. However, at the end of the year, I looked back and found that I didn't have much use for it, so I decided not to fill out the index in this journal. The next page is my 2021 cover spread. I've got 2021 in big letters, and then I have the quote, "Believe in yourself, push your limits, experience life, conquer your goals, and be happy." Flipping the page, we'll move on to my things that happened in 2020 spread. Lots of events happened in my life during 2020, including a family vacation to Italy, along with the COVID-19 pandemic and several other events. To recap these things, I decided to make a reflection page where I could look back and see all of the major life events of this year. On the right-hand side is my year at a glance page. I liked the idea of this page, but didn't like that there wasn't any functional planning space, so I didn't use it that much. Flipping the page, we'll move on to my future log. This page solved the problem of not having any planning space. Below each calendar, there's a couple of lines that I could have used to write down specific events that were happening in each month. However, as I've said in my previous video, I like setting up my beginning yearly spreads, but I found out that I often don't remember to use them throughout the year. Moving on, we come to my goals page. The intention for this page was that I would be able to write down school, personal, and health goals. However, as you can see, I never got around to actually writing down those goals. On the opposite side of the page is my word of the year spread. My word for this year was balance. So at the top of the page, I have balance written in big letters, and then I have the dictionary definition below that. And then finally at the bottom, I had a little blurb about how I wanted to use my word throughout the year. Flipping the page, we come to my keep in touch spread. At this point in my life, I was finding it hard to keep up with my friends, so I wanted a way to track how I got in contact with them. I had 6 big boxes, each labeled with a friend's name, and then I also had a key that denoted how I got in contact with them. However, just like my other yearly spreads, I never got back to using this one. Next, we'll come to a blank page, and then a year of workouts page. Again, this was not used. I also have an unused things to check out page and a wish list. I also have a when did I last page. I used these trackers at the beginning of the year, but then fell off from using them. The next few pages are for my playlist of the month. If you've watched my previous flip through video, you'll know that I tried to include a playlist of the month at either the beginning or the end of each monthly setup. However, those spreads did not get filled out because I didn't have a printer at the time, and so I couldn't print off covers for them. To rectify that problem, I tried to simplify my playlist. I condensed these playlists so that they would all be together at the beginning of the year. Also, I made it so that I wouldn't have to print anything out. All I would have to do is write down the name of the song and what artist it was by. I filled out my playlist for January and February, but then did not continue filling them out throughout the year. Next, we'll move on to my concert tracker. As this was right after 2020, no concerts were taking place at the time, and so I didn't go to any this year. I also have a movies of 2021 spread. The only movie that I filled in is Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. However, just like many other of my yearly spreads, I'm sure that I watched more movies than this and just forgot to fill them in. Flipping the page, we come to my theme tracker. Right off the bat, you can see that I didn't do themes for May, July, or August. However, there are also many other spreads that are only halfway filled in, but still made it into the tracker. You'll see what I mean when we come to those later in the video. In total, only 4 months were fully completed in this journal. That being said, I'm sure you can tell 2020 had a big impact on my mental health that continued into 2021. With this in mind, I wanted to create a page that was just full of inspirational quotes that I could look back on throughout the year to motivate myself. Finally, the last pages that I included in my yearly setup was my 2021 in memories pages. I wanted to print off photos that represented the most memorable event or time during each month. However, I was still at college during this time and still didn't have a printer, so this didn't get filled in either. Finally, we'll move on to January, which is the beginning of my monthly spreads. The theme for January was mushrooms, and I focused on using blacks, browns, reds, and oranges as my color scheme. First, I have my cover page and then my calendar spread. I also have a master to-do list spread and a sleep tracker. Finally, I decided to keep including both my habit and mood trackers. Then we'll move on to my weekly spreads. I also started including a birthday spread. Here I could write down the memories I had at each birthday, along with which birthday gifts I received and who I got each gift from. At the end of the month, I tried to include a reflection page. Here I could write my big successes, what was okay, and what needed work, and how to improve those things. I also included a page where I could write down my spring 2021 college schedule. Moving on to February, the theme for this month was focused around washi tapes. At this time, I had collected quite a few of them and wanted a way to show them off. Each page of this setup features a different set of washi tapes. Also, you may have noticed that my habit and mood trackers were not included with the other spreads at the beginning of this month. When I was setting up this month, I forgot to include them with the others, so they're placed at the end of the month after the weekly spreads. For March, I wanted to go quite simple, so I only used 3 colors: blue, pink, and green. With my blue and pink markers, I did abstract shapes in the background, and then layered flower drawings over top of it. At this time, I also switched up how I was doing my weeklies. Instead of planning the writing spaces in advance, I just used however much I needed each day and then decorated around the writing. I like this style of weekly, but think that the page is too overcrowded and that it needs a little bit more blank space. For April, the 2 main colors I used were pink and purple. I had these cute computer themed stickers, so I paired those with hand-drawn drawings to create a computer theme for this month. As you can see, this was one of the themes that got halfway done and then I stopped. Flipping the page, you can see that we move right from April into June. I really like what I had initially started for June, but think that I made the drawings a little bit too complicated for what my mental state was at the time. This overwhelmed me, and as you can see, I didn't even get around to erasing the pencil markings. Moving on, you can see that again, we move right from June into September with 2 months missing. At this time, I wanted to simplify things for myself, so instead of coming up with a new theme, I just revamped my March theme. I changed the colors from pink and blue to purple and yellow, and changed up the style of flower drawings. However, even with me trying to keep things simple, this was still not enough for me to be able to complete this month. For October, I wanted to go with a cute fall theme that featured hedgehogs, acorns, leaves, and stumps. I was able to complete everything in this theme except for the last few days at the very end of the month. Even with those days not being completed, this was a major win for me at the time. For November, I had these cute girl stickers that I wanted to feature. Along with those stickers, I used several plain washi tapes to fill out this month's theme. I was able to fill out everything until November 23rd, and that's when I stopped using my bullet journal again. we'll move on to the last month in this bullet journal, December. This month was also uncompleted, and the theme was meant to center around Christmas lights. I was able to do the drawings and put some washi tape down, but was not able to color anything in. With 3 complete months being missing from this journal and several other months being incomplete, I had a lot of empty pages left at the end of this journal. At first I didn't know what to do with these, but then I decided that they could be used as planning spaces for themes in my 2022 bullet journal. Here you're able to see some sneak peek drawings and marker swatches of themes that will appear in that journal. Along with using these pages for planning space, just recently I've also decided to use these pages to swatch washi tapes and stickers for my stationery haul videos. Inside the back pocket, there's several sticky notes that I use as planning space to help plan my October theme. Overall, 2021 was not a great year of bullet journaling for me. However, I'm still very happy that I can look back at this journal and see how I've improved from then until now. I love looking back to see how both my mindset and bullet journaling skills have improved since then. At that time, bullet journaling was a source of stress for me and just something that I needed to do. Now, I really enjoy doing it, and it's now a source of comfort for me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. If you like this video and want to see more, please be sure to like and comment and also subscribe to my channel. I plan on continuing this series and flipping through the rest of my bullet journals that I haven't shown you before. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.